Boom! Jake here. We're going to be looking at the Xbox Elite controller. A whopping $150. More if you have tax. So, I've used this a little bit. Since the release, I got it with Halo 5 at the midnight. And I played some games with it. I don't want to say that I've been playing it nonstop, but I've been playing it nonstop. And I figured that I could do a little bit of a review on it, coming from a gamer who's not especially competitive, and I don't have any scuffs or anything. So this is like the first like modded controller I've ever had. So when I give a perspective from someone who doesn't already reside in that community. So, and I figure I'd also do kind of like an unboxing kind of thing because this is literally how it came in the box. Here's the controller with the case. Usually stuff like this, like it has the content of it, but then it has like a carrying case at the very bottom or something. This one just straight up comes in the carrying case. So I guess that makes sense. Really quick, box stuff. Cool Xbox thing. There was some paper on here, but I got rid of it. Boom. Already done. Here's the carrying case. It's good. Not much to say about it. It is a case of which to carry your controller in. And then when you open it up, the fuck is this shit? No, I'm kidding. You get a controller. A very, very expensive controller. Here's one of the things that I noticed right off the bat just opening it. One, this always falls out. I switched it with the traditional D-pad because I like the traditional D-pad more. But when it comes to the parts of these, obviously you guys have already seen from the trailers that you can switch the parts. But, see, they're magnetic. I did not know that these were going to be magnetic. I thought they were just going to be snap-ons or something. But it turns out that they are magnetic. There's some magnets in here that keep all of these in place. But this has absolutely no hold, so it's just going to bounce around. It's not that big of a deal, but it's just something that I noticed. Even before the box was open, I heard like a chinging somewhere in there. So yeah, in order to snap it on, just put it on, it snaps on. Use it all you want. It feels really good in your hands. It's actually a lot heavier than a standard Xbox One controller. I didn't think that it really would be, but at the same time, when you think about all the extra parts that they added in and all the wireless connectivity functions that they have, I'm not talking like just the standard controller wireless connectivity. I'm talking like the Xbox accessories connectivity and the way that you can now update your controller wirelessly as opposed to having to plug it in with a mini USB, which it also came with. And the difference is that this is braided or broided. I can't think of the name right now. Probably broided. I don't even know. You want to focus? Yeah, focus. That came with it as well, and it came in the box. It feels really good. When you hit the sticks from side to side, up and down, it doesn't really feel like you're damaging the sticks because at the very bottom, you can see that they're made of metal or steel. What you can also do is obviously that you can already exchange a lot of the parts. Thumbsticks are also magnetic, which I didn't really know that they would be able to do with a controller. I've always kept the lessons I learned as a kid in mind, where you just kind of keep magnets away from electrical outlets and like just keep magnets away from electrical stuff. But this one goes against all of my pre-learned practices. Boop. Now you got longer, concave, well, not concave, the opposite of concave, thumbsticks. These actually do feel really nice. This is my first time using these. I really haven't switched these out. So that's cool. You can remove the parts without feeling like you're gonna break anything of it. And the same goes with the back pedals. There's this really good grip that I'm not really sure what it's called in the technological terms, so I just call it a grip. But same with the back pedals, you can remap these to whatever you want them to be. But when you want to take them off, you just take them off, because all of it's done by magnets. How do you magnet? I don't know how to magnet, but this is how you magnet. Bada bing. And then you got a standard Xbox controller with more metal built in. The triggers are silver, along with the bumpers. These are the fixed bumpers that they released with the new Xbox controller with the 3.5mm jack, of which this also has. But it also has these, which I think are really cool, and I didn't know that it had these until like a day before I decided to buy it. They have triggers, little switches for the hair triggers. So like if you want to play Forza, you can still use the triggers like you would use them on any other normal Xbox One controller. But then all you have to do is flip it, and then it activates as a hair trigger. So you don't have to push down on it twice as hard or quite as much. So that way you can save milliseconds of time. So if you're super competitive and that's your kind of thing, you know, you can do that. I do it regardless because it just feels kind of better to play first-person shooters with hair triggers. But if you want to go in GTA and you still want to use this stick and you still want to use this controller, you can, and you don't have to worry about any boundaries holding you back. Along with this grip, the controller itself is pelted with some kind of Sure grip, I think it's called, but it's made out of a different material than other Xbox One controllers. It's not plastic. I don't really know how to describe it. It's not. I was almost going to say glossy, which it's not glossy, but yeah. So let's put these back on. Ba-doop. Easy peasy. And one of the cool parts is that obviously you can see a little switch here. This is meant for the Xbox Accessories app, so you can save up to 2 presets of button remappings on this controller. So like if you want your X to be B, if you want your A to be Y, if you want your paddles in the background to resemble something else, but then you want them to resemble something else in another game, you have 2 presets that you can automatically switch them to. And even then, the app is snappable, so you know you're all good when it comes to that. A personal favorite touch of mine is that you see how the bottom of the sticks are metal. They also have this kind of plastic ring around the outside of where the other controllers usually of where like the mat stops. They have this plastic outlining, so that way, like no matter how hard you push this into one direction, the metal will never get like worn as you usually see with other Xbox controllers. I looked around to see if I could find an example, but I can't. But you know, like when you're playing Call of Duty and stuff, and you're constantly pushing down on this, and you're going forward as hard as it can, sometimes you get some dust here because it's wearing off the plastic of the controller. But with this, you don't have to worry. So that is good. So that way, you know that this is built to last long term. At least I hope it is. This can almost exclusively be used with the Xbox app, which with the Xbox app, which can determine like how all of your buttons are mapped and such. But they also have some cool stuff where it's like you can adjust the trigger sensitivities. You can adjust. I use these. When I said triggers, my bad. You can adjust the trigger sensitivity even with the hair switch on. You can adjust the stick sensitivity. You can You can also adjust the LED brightness in your controller, which I've never really seen done on a lot of other things. I know the PS4 now has a dimmer option for its light bright thing in the back, the light bar, which you obviously want to set it to dim so that way it doesn't burn through your batteries or anything. But yeah, this is the Xbox Elite controller. It's $150. In my opinion, for that price, that's pretty hefty. If you don't have the money lying around, I would suggest waiting for a sale probably, because $150 for a controller, for a proprietary controller regardless, it seems kind of eh. But if you have the money lying around and you know that you're going to be going into a more competitive kind of scene, it's almost automatic. But then it's almost an automatic, yes. But then again, if you're into that scene, you probably already have a scuff. This only has one advantage over a scuff that I've seen so far. That the triggers have hair switches, so you know you can actually switch whether you want them to be whether you want it to be like a first-person shooter or a driving game or whatever. But now I'm repeating myself. The Xbox One Elite controller. Definite buy, but not right now. Wait for a price drop or wait for a deep sale. Okay? Now, I'm going to press end and end the video, even though I don't know how to end it yet. Yeah. So yeah. Yep. Yeah. So yeah. Yeah. Yep. So yep. Yep. Yep.